Hey, Tiffany.
Hey, Anita.
So I got to listen to your recording with Nelson and Mohit, and it was awesome. I'm excited to meet another yet young guy who is just killing it in the real estate game. How was your chat with him?
My chat was very funny, and I was saying before, I think a lot of these guests that we have on our show, just spending an hour together, just talking on the podcast, breaks the ice for us to just DM each other and become lifelong friends in our SARE real estate circle. And a fun fact about Mohit is he's actually moving from California to New York. So when he's all settled in here, we're gonna hang out for drinks. And I'm very interested in seeing how his journey continues, his adventure in New York. This is episode 3 of the Subtle Asian Real Estate Ladies podcast, hosted by New York and San Francisco real estate agents Tiffany Lee and Anita Wong. SARE Ladies is on a mission to probe, inspire, and educate newbies on all things real estate. We encourage our fun lineup of guests to air out the good, the bad, and even the ugly in hopes of making real estate investing less intimidating and more approachable. Subbing in for Anita today is Subtle Asian Real Estate Zaddy, Nelson Lin.
Zadar.
Zadar. Our guest today is a good friend of Nelson's, Mohit Asthana, who we've been having the best conversation with leading up to this. Mohit is in his 20s. He's actually 27 years old and single, ladies. And already he's a very accomplished real estate investor and soon to be published author of his new book titled Money Manifesto, which, by the way, I just realized, is that a play on your name too, Mohit?
Yeah. Well, my Twitter is Money Mohit, and you have to manifest it. And I mean, it works. It works.
Mohit is like a modern, like very basic white girl. He's like manifesting good energy.
I'm very basic. I'm not going to deny it.
You're Pisces? Are you Libra?
I am a Pisces.
Rising sun.
And he's into astrology.
I'm not into it. I just know what my birth date is, and
oh, you know what could be your dating handle is like Mohit that. I'm Mohit that.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take that.
I should be in marketing. That's why all the girls are in marketing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hit
they're
that.
all creative. The dudes are all hella logical. So
yeah, it's true.
yeah.
See, that's the stereotypes we're looking to unpack here on this podcast. This we're bucketing people as, oh, women are very right-minded and men are very left-brain and logical, right? But I do think there's a way to play it harmoniously, right? I think that's kind of why you don't see a lot of women in commercial real estate, because it is very logical. There's nothing really sexy about it.
Well, so residential, I think, has more women.
Yes.
And women are really good sellers, and the women sales reps that I've seen just have a level above men with interpersonal skills, with communication, and all of that. In commercial real estate, since it's more numbers oriented, I just personally haven't seen too many of that. But yes, I agree. It just shouldn't be like an old white man game, basically.
Yeah. So one thing too that I've noticed though is with the residential space, it's just that it's much more relationship based.
Yeah, and aesthetics.
Like short-term rentals, right, and all that. It's easier to address. But honestly, in the commercial space, it's actually it can get pretty creative, right? I mean, I'm not thinking of just industrial, but I've seen wedding spaces that have done really well. I've seen, large like multi-cabin, unit situations go well, boutique hotels. Like there are ways to be creative about it, but the industry is so dominated by this cookie cutter approach that it's hard to break in unless you have the money, capital, relationships, or
Yeah, I mean, like commercial real estate is very it's a lot more intimidating than what it actually is. At the end of the day, you try and it's like the way that it's all valued is all through like free cash flow multiples. Or not free cash flow, but NOI multiples.
I think that's what the disparity is, because like residential real estate is very much about aesthetics and appearances and how it presents itself. And I feel like that's a softer skill set that women excel at more than men.
Oh,
And that's
100%, 100%. Like women just, there's something to be like, there's a feeling of trust. I feel like that you get. I know that I can come off as salesy, and like it's something that it is what it is. But women, I just feel like have like a natural skill to build relationships, which is
very
what real
nurturing.
estate is.
Because that's how we're socially conditioned.
Yeah, I would lean towards the socially conditioned.
I used to work so my background is that I used to work at a company called Greystar. They do like apartment management internationally. And I also used to be I like interned at a commercial brokerage in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
The brokerage, I think, had like 3 women, 4 women, and it had a staff of like 25. I think now they're a lot better, but I mean, they were one of the more like diverse, but it was all just like white men and like 4 women who were all like white.
Well,
And
of the women, what were they doing? What were their roles? Were they like
marketing, leasing, accounting, and no, 2 of them were in marketing. One of them was in leasing. The other one was in like finance, accounting, something like that.
Yeah. So it's almost like they took the secretary jobs, kind of.
Ish.
It is,
ish.
right?
But like,
Ish. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. If you know a girl that works in commercial real estate and is single, hit me up.
That's hilarious. Okay.
If I'm going to be a RE pro eventually, I need the taxes to go somewhere, you know?
So are you looking for a commercial real estate girlfriend or accounting girlfriend? How are you gauging your dates? Like how do you run your comps for a date? Let's get into it that way. It's a fun lifestyle.
Depends if
podcast.
it's more of a quick flip or if it's a long-term buy and hold, you know? You got to evaluate the market. You got to evaluate everything.
Well, how old are you right now?
How old do you think I am?
Are you like 25? I think that's what Nelson said. You're like in your 20s.
I'm 27, yeah.
27. Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So 27 years old. So when you're 27, what's your risk tolerance look like? What's your what's your strategy look like when you're looking for a partner?
Well, I mean, they have to be smart. Like, obviously, like it's like, I mean, there's a lot of parallels to like business as well. And like in business, I've had what's up, Nelson? How are you?
Nelson, we're getting so into it. I feel like we're going to use some of what Mohit is giving us right now in the podcast. You're coming in super hot. Yeah, but I want you to continue this thought, Mohit, because I'm going to edit it in, and I'm glad we're recording because
we need those tax write-ups, you guys. That's what this is.
Exactly what I say, dude. And like, I mean, that's a value add right there. Like,
yeah.
All right, so let's rewind to where Mohit was going, because Mohit said he's 27 years old right now. So when you're 27 years old, your criteria for what you're looking for in a partner, in a romantic long-term partner, is going to look different from what it was when you were a teenager, 21. And Nelson and I have talked about this before, where your priorities, sometimes when you're younger, you're just doing stuff just to do it without any real intention, right?
I mean, right now, I'm just trying to make money. But if like straight
we're all trying to make money, but
I know. But like, I realize that 2 incomes are better than 1. I'd say like,
so, yeah. That's the thing too, is like, you have to look at your partner now as like, you have to have somebody who's got some of their stuff together. So that way, if you are trying to progress further in your business, you don't want someone who's kind of holding you back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's like, I mean, I like, there's a lot of like, so my day job is in tech sales, Tiffany. So what I like, if I'm trying to close like a large deal, then there's a lot of parallels for sales in the commercial world, sales in real estate, and like just interpersonal relationships as well. And a lot of those is like buying cycle. Like, are they in the right place of their life? Are they in the right place in their company? Like, there's a lot of things that are very similar. And I mean, just at the end of the day, it's all metrics. Okay.
What's the most important metric to you, Mohit?
Depends what like the value, like what values they have. Just everybody in general. Like
What's
my
your
business,
core value? Well, what's your core value, and what would mesh? Because
man,
this is the stuff I love
this
getting
is
into.
like free therapy. People charge a lot of money for this in therapy.
I feel like I should be a therapist.
You could. Honestly, salespeople are great therapists. They have to be like value oriented, and like value gets overused, but like they have to know the like what's the cost of a dollar? You know, like what does a dollar buy you? They have to earn it. Because I've hung out with a lot like some spoiled people. Wasn't a fan of that. And they have to be funny, and they have to see the light and everything. Like just life has its ups and downs, and it's all about your attitude at the end of the day.
So it
So-
sounds like Mohit is looking for a fiscally responsible optimist.
Yes, that's exactly what it
I just hope that I don't have to pay any referral fees, you know, like where we're like characteristics. So
Yeah.
I mean definitely like a growth mindset. It's very cliche, but like everyone has to be on board for a growth mindset, like for business, for personal, whatever it is. Long-term outcomes, long-term views. That's also very important because like time is the most finite resource we have.
How about aesthetics? Like the way you view a property, is it like a fixer, or are you down to take on a fixer upper,
Yeah,
or
are
do
you
you
looking
want
for
something
value
super turnkey and finished? Here we are on a ladies podcast objectifying women and comparing them to property. Oh my god, I hate it. I'm the
wouldn't
enemy.
say- the way that I'll put it is I wouldn't say I'm turnkey, but I'm definitely like a core plus type of deal.
For the listeners who don't know what core plus is, what do you mean by that, and how are you bridging that
Like
gap?
like in real estate, a core deal is like a brand new, sexy, like class A property. A core plus is like a 2000s built property, which has some renovations. It's pretty good, but there's some there's some maintenance that could be done, some value add that could be improved.
So
Yeah.
it's like you could do a kitchen. It's like a old outdated model, but it still works.
It's like your house was renovated in 2009, but like, you know, like there's still granite, there's still like nice wood, but like it's not like the white shaker cabinets that everyone has, like, the quartz countertops.
You know, is my mic working right now, by the way?
Yeah, your mic is fine.
Well, you know what the sexiest to me? I love value add. Those are my type of women.
Nelson, you're a value add type of guy, dude. You
Okay,
add
are
value
you,
to
when you guys
everything.
do where go with it, say what it is in a woman that's a value add.
I need something busted about them. That's what I'm here for.
You need something broken that you want to
something
feel like you
broken.
can fix them. You're like,
Or-
I need to be the value add.
Yeah,
That's
I need.
justification.
I'm looking for foundation issues. I am looking for leakages. You know,
You're looking for girl daddy issues is basically what you're looking for. She's like,
that's what I'm here for.
Are
Structural.
you
she's
dating
gonna be
somebody,
so
Nelson?
happy that I took her on.
Are you dating somebody, Nelson?
I am. Yeah.
Is she value add or no? Is her father? Actually, no. The most important. I know the most important quality in someone that I want. The
Okay.
father has to own multifamily, and I want to be able to buy them, preferably in the Midwest.
Well, she's an ADU. I would describe her as that because she's
All right.
she's kind of small. So
When you guys drop the acronyms, you have to expand on it. So an ADU is
That's for
accessory dwelling unit. It's when you have a back
plus
house
one.
that is like a smaller house.
It's like a plus one.
It's like a plus one. That
sounds more like she's like a bonus girlfriend. Like she's a three. Like it sounds like she's a side piece. I don't think
Like she's a woman
ADU
of
is
the
like the
faith.
best term for that.
It's true. She's a tiny home. How about that?
That's a better. She's a tiny home.
Dude, tiny homes are in fashion too. They don't take up too much space. They're aesthetic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then
Mohit, you have to write this. This has to be in your book. Maybe this is your second book where you're like real estate investing and relationship. Maybe this is a book that you write with a woman, with like a relationship expert. That
Mohit,
could be a cool
does that
collaboration.
go under the SARE publishing company?
that could be our first book. Yeah, SARE Publishing. Right.
Fuck it, I'll do it. Yeah, let's do it.
That's actually. I think that would actually. That book
I
would do
enjoy
well.
writing. Like I'm crazy. Like you guys have taken a gander at the book. Like that was for fun. I originally wrote that because too many people kept asking me, "Hey, how do I invest in commercial real estate?" Or like, what I want to talk to you about real estate. And now I have to have like, what are you trying to get out of it? Like, because there's many different ways. Real estate's, you could do wholesaling, you could do flipping, you could do Airbnb, you could do boring shit like buy and hold commercial multifamily, like not boring, but like not sexy, you know?
Right. Okay. Well, actually, Mohit was very kind enough to send me an advance copy of his working book, and it's very well written. I must commend you for that. It's very easy to read, it's very digestible, and I love the way that you outlined it super cleanly, because a lot of people, and I think I speak for a lot of SARE members when I say that we have a lot of lurkers who want to get their feet wet, but they have paralysis by analysis. And I think this is an excellent resource when you're ready to fully publish it, to put it out there.
It'll be published soon. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
think I mean, so many people have most of the conversations that I have are with like my friends, and all my friends are just like me. They're all like, they either work in tech, banking, private equity, like software engineering, or like maybe they're a lawyer. Like they all make like 150K plus, and they might have like an extra like 50, 100 grand. And they're like, okay, well, I have enough RSUs, I have enough stocks, I want to buy real estate. I'm the crazy nut who was buying in the slums of Cleveland for my first property, sight unseen. And then I'm just like, you know what? I have a lot of experience, or some experience, and then let me just outline it and make it like less intimidating.
And you know what the best part is? They're still not going to read the book when you send it to them, and they're going to keep asking you questions.
Then I'll have a course to sell them, and then I'll sell them ice.
That's actually not bad. That's what most people who write books do. They're like, and here's the online companion course.
At the end of the day, it's all a sales funnel. So like previously speaking, I used to own a media company, and like basically we started writing what was essentially clickbait on Facebook, and we got paid through ads. But that got me into like the marketing world, and there's so much. I anticipate probably in the future, like if I get really into it, marketing income is going to it's going to be a lot larger than the real estate income, because real estate's very like long term. In 15 years, it'll be a lot of money. Right now, it's okay.
That's so interesting, because I feel like a lot of these gurus, especially investment gurus, they don't make money off of, they make more money off of their courses than they do from the actual investing.
Yeah, we were talking to Tony, the CPA, the other day, and he's like, I have this guy who teaches options trading, and none of the people who've traded options have come out positive this year, but that guy who teaches it, banking, just
if you give a man to fish, he'll eat for a day. If you teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime.
But I feel like a lot of the options trader students are just not doing well. They drowned. He taught them how to fish, and they went to the water and they drowned. They got taken in by the wave, and they were dead.
Piranhas. Like they were trying to catch some bass, but they got piranhas instead, which capsized their boat. Like
I met so many people last year who said that their job was being an options trader, and now they're like, how do you?
They're in the unemployment line, or
they're like, I'm out of options, literally now.
Good pun.
Yeah, out of real estate group out of options next.
I mean, there's a lot of overlap though. Like the people that get like high finance, like what I see, there's a huge pipeline between like investment banking, private equity people who go into real estate because they see the work-life balance and the freedom that real estate brings.
There's also a stomach for risk tolerance I've seen too with numbers, right? And I feel like that's also something that's socially conditioned in boys growing up, where it's like, take risks, and girls are like, play it safe. So I think that's also a reason why you don't see that back and forth. Because I came up, I don't know if I mentioned this, I was a professional poker player for a few years. So
Cool.
Thank you.
That is very cool.
So there is a lot. I see a lot of parallels between investing and how to responsibly manage a bankroll. And I see parallels to that options trading thing too, where you have all these poker players buying courses from these like elite pros, but the vast majority of poker players are losing players. Like, because it's a game where if one person loses, it means another person
someone has to win. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's just like the stock market. And it's funny because my brother says that my brother is he's an energy trader, and so he's all like, and I'm telling him about my real estate. Like he invested in the last deal that I had, and he was like, well, like who's losing? I was like, dude, nobody's losing. Like, what are we doing? Like, we're providing housing. We're taking a little shitty like building, fixing it up. People get housing. The bank will lend us money, and we win. Like everybody wins. But he was like, who's losing? Like someone has to lose. I was like, no. That's
Who's
the
getting
beauty.
displaced, Mohit? Is somebody getting displaced? Is there a
Higher
gentrification?
rent, Mohit, and come on.
Yeah,
I mean,
someone is losing.
higher rent is a measure of the value that someone is willing to pay for the property, for that space. So
I don't know if you've seen what happened in the last 2 years. There's not a lot of value added for a lot of higher rent. So
I mean, dude, this is why I love affordable housing. I invest in Cleveland, Tiffany, and I love Cleveland. It's very diverse, but I love the fact that they have it. Like I love affordable housing because it makes me feel good, and I can still make money at the end of the day and build equity. But in one of my units, or none one, but we partnered up with a nonprofit agency which helps their youth that have aged out of foster care. So this agency will pay us 3 years worth of rent and their security deposit. And I mean, they get a place to stay. I get 3 years worth of guaranteed rent. Like it's a win-win-win situation. But like those are the types of projects that I love, and they also happen to be incentivizing from Uncle Sam.
That's
So, like,
beautiful. I love that.
in the future, I would love to do like LIHTC deals. LIHTC, for people that don't know, is low income housing tax credit. And I mean, I think that like long term, that's sort of like what the vision is of building affordable housing. It's definitely something that we need in this country.
yeah, those are the majority of projects I've actually been working on. In Chicago, we do a lot of Section 8. But
Yeah.
then I'm about to, if you're a credit investor, we're raising for a fund in Austin. It's a new development that uses LIHTC at the moment, but also no property taxes.
Ooh.
How
Austin, yo, it's congrats, dude. We'll have to talk offline about that. But
everything is 7% cash on cash when it's done building in Austin, Texas. New construction, you know. So
Wow.
and you can hold it forever.
Huh?
You're just gonna hold it forever, or will you sell it off post construction?
The goal is to sell in 3 years, but if the market tanks, it's got 7% cash on cash. So like,
Dude, it's a new build. Like I own 100-year-old building, and it is like I have to set aside money for CapEx, but the cash flow is really good. So
yeah,
that touches my heart so much. I love that you both are so into affordable housing because I feel like that's an often overlooked segment. And I almost feel like the game is kind of soft there because nobody's really thinking about it. So if you're the first ones or you're the more active players in there, you might be able to kind of have an edge.
Everybody and their mother is chasing like all these syndicators are chasing like 60s, 70s, and 80s vintage units. They're gonna put shiplap on the balconies, they'll paint it, put some LED lights, and these are all in like the Sunbelt states in Arizona and Texas. Like everyone is chasing that. Since 2015. That was the quote low-hanging fruit. But yeah, I mean,
it's done well in the last 2 years, though.
But honestly, the market's done well as a whole, except for like 2020. Like if you could be a monkey and you could buy any property and your value would have gone up. It's not because you're a great operator, it's because the market's been really good.
Unless you're a condo in San Francisco and New York, in which case you are probably you're not doing.
There are people with condos that need some fiscal help. I would love to buy one if the price is right.
Oh, I have a place for you in Brooklyn. Actually, Mohit.
I mean, like rates were so low for the last, under 3%. That's free money. If you were stupid, if you weren't buying or if you weren't borrowing, because that's free money. But I mean, I'm really curious about like what the economic outcome will look like of this, and I don't know. I'm worried because a lot of first timers have gotten into real estate like recently. Maybe they've raised money, they've done a couple of successful bird deals, but like, are they smart? Or is it just, like maybe they'll tack on like 2 years worth of IO and then maybe they'll refinance, like say they borrow at like 4%, but they'll have to borrow at 8 next time. Like we'll see what happens.
That's And we'll end on that note, Mohit. We will see what happens, and we would love to have you back because this was a great conversation. You're so smart. I love that you're able to pull principles from real estate and tech sales and apply it to real life and make it digestible for our audience. Because I think that's what makes our podcast what's gonna make it different from the others. And I feel like you're really in tune with that DNA. And we would love to have you back and expand on all these other topics that we touched on today. Because I love the affordable housing angle. I love, you moving to New York angle. We got to talk about that offline.
We'll definitely grab drinks.
Yeah.
I feel like New York will turn everybody into an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah. If you're already not, yeah. I'm getting older. I'm older than both of you. So I'm at the age where
It's
the
X
hangovers
anniversary
feel
of your
terrible.
25th birthday. It's X anniversary of your 25th birthday. So we'll keep it like that. So you're just 25 in perpetuity.
Nelson, pump up the audio on your mic. Is there a knob on it? Because you're really quiet.
Is this working?
Yeah, this is better. Yeah.
Or
maybe move it closer to your face because it's yeah.
Oh,
That's why I have to wear the headphones for quality. Now it just looks like a dick in your face. That's gonna be the clip, Nelson. That's the clickbait clip. It's just Nelson with the
dick like Mike.
Dick Mike.
Okay.
No, it's still you still sound really
you sound like an Android.
Like
this is like the Android equivalent of like a microphone.
I'm gonna go no mic. I'm gonna
No, that sounds raw dogging it. Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
Lovely.
All right.
Cool. So we've had a bit of a prelude.
Yeah, that was a good prelude. That's gonna make it to the body of the podcast.
Yeah. Let's do it.
No coffee means no filter. Like what? But these are the funny discoveries that I love. I love this stuff, even though we can't use any of it, but it makes me laugh.